feel this comment so much. You find yourself thinking about that narcissist after you leave and thinking about this perfect life that they seem to have now, and you just can't seem to get past it. It seems like you're dwelling on the past. This is what's called rumination. After leaving narcissistically abusive relationships, we find ourselves stuck thinking, well, what could I have done better? Maybe it was my fault. Maybe it wasn't as bad as I thought, and they seem fine now. And I promise this vision that they're giving to you, that they're fine now, they have this now perfect life now that you're not in it, that is all a total farce. It's likely many of your friends and family and extended friends and family that only know them through social media also thought that your relationship looked perfect and wonderful as well. But don't spend too much time thinking about what their perfect life looks like at this point, because that's fake. But the reason you're stuck thinking about it is because they convinced you at some part of your insides and your brain and in your nervous system, somewhere inside of you, that the way in which they treated you was somehow your fault. And one of the ways that they're able to accomplish that is because they're not terrible all the time. So what you often start remembering after you leave a narcissist is all the good times, the trips you went on, all the times that you hung out with mutual friends, whatever it is, right? You find yourself thinking about everything that was really great about that relationship, and maybe the bad times weren't so bad because, we just had disagreements like everybody else, right? Wrong. They were emotionally and mentally and psychologically abusive. And just because you can't see the impacts of that kind of abuse on the skin, like physically on the skin, you certainly can feel that on the inside. It is just as damaging to our nervous systems as someone inflicting actual harm to our physical bodies. But we've also formed a trauma bond with these narcissists. They are the person who is inflicting pain and harm and suffering on us, but they're also helping us to heal from that pain that they inflicted upon us. For example, they might yell and scream at us, and they're in this jealous rage because maybe you spoke to somebody that was of the opposite sex that they didn't want you talking to. I know that happened a lot in my narcissistically abusive relationship. I literally could not even look in the direction of another guy. He had even made a rule that I was not allowed to make eye contact with other men at all, full stop, because he was just that jealous. So they might go into this jealous rage and they're yelling and screaming at you and saying that you broke their trust because you made eye contact with another guy, as an example in this case. And then the next day they realize, oh gosh, maybe I really went overboard there. So now they're going to bring you flowers or take you to a nice dinner or whatever it is. That's a trauma bond. And you feel like in those moments that you're getting that nice and vulnerable person that you always thought that you were dating from the love bombing stage, but as it turns out, it's just another part of their manipulation tactics. This is all incredibly confusing to our nervous systems, and this is why we ruminate a lot after we leave these kinds of abusive relationships. We just really don't want to believe that that's what was happening. But yes, it was abuse. No, your nervous system has not recovered from that yet. And yes, seeing the therapist, getting EMDR treatments, those are the kinds of things that can help you to heal.